All right, this is Dave Bennett with MOWG-crew.com and Theme2HTML.com. We've been going through showing people how to MOWG Theme2HTML website. So let me pick up where we left off and show you. So here is, close other tabs, get that out of my way. Here is another website, and well, a website. I want to download it to my desktop and I want to MOWG it. So I'm just going to create some kind of a folder. Okay. Hello, I didn't need a shortcut. Grab the wrong thing. New folder. Okay, and it could be anything, work in progress, except I won't call it that. I'll just call it project, but you know, it might be like edge, okay? And I'll know what that means, right? Edge, landscaping, right? Okay, save as. We've already done this part in the last training video. So here we go. I'm gonna call this base.html, HTML only, stick it in my edge folder. Boom. There it is. Now, we already know what we're doing this far, and that's this. Oops, why do I keep closing the web page? I do that out of such habit. Boom. Okay, so here I'm going to copy this and Control H, Control V, because I want to replace it. Kill that last backslash because I'm going to get it anyway from here. It's just the way Chrome adds it in. There, I got it now. Okay, and close it. Now I can close the web page. I keep closing it one step too soon. Okay. Keep thinking once I have it, I can close it. Well, I ought to make that change first. Now everything is here. It looks good and it works. Okay, that's where we left off. What comes next? Next, I want to MOWG it. By the way, what am I going to MOWG? Here's the point. We want to create as many pages as we think sensible for this company. If this company only works in 3 cities and only has 20 keywords, we're going to create probably just 60 pages, right? That way we have 1 page per keyword for each geo-targeted keyword. That way there is no spam indexing, there is no weirdness to it. Google's going to like it, it's going to index the pages, they're going to rank, they're going to look good. There's no question about them having gone too far. They're not going to get sandboxed or anything. There won't be any going too far. Get it? All right, so having said all that, what are we going to MOWG? Okay, here's what I'm going to say. We want people to land on our pages. They're going to look just like this if this is what we wanted. Okay, and what we want, of course, is for this to be MOWG. So what are we going to want? This section here is going to be what we're going to MOWG. Just this box. This is the box. In every single web page's case, it's going to be just this box. Okay, right down to our related sitemap link or whatever it is. Okay, that's it. We don't want to MOWG this. We don't want to MOWG this. We want these to be hard links to important pages, whatever they are. We want these to work. We want that to work. We want all of these to work. We want this to work and do exactly what it's doing. We're not going to do anything new with them. If we had a YouTube video in here, it should be in here, you know, all that stuff. If we have a Facebook link in here, it should be in here. Everything we wanted. Okay, we want this to stay the same. We don't want to change it. We could. With MOWG, you could change everything on the page, everywhere from the background color to the image you use here, to the name of the guy, whether it's 3 dots or 2 dots, whether this is double quotes or single quotes, whether this is italicized or bolded or underlined, whether this is greenish or bluish or purplish or yellowish, whether this is Arial font or Verdana font or Georgia font. With MOWG, we can create every combination we want and then create all of those split tests if we want, okay? But for the purpose of selling, okay, we really want people to have a normal experience, and this is the part where people would just read, and it's cool. We want that, but mostly this is a landscaper. People are going to be interested in the fact that they have a logo, the fact that they have a phone number, the fact that they work in this area, they're in the right spot. And they've been doing it since how long? Wow, we're definitely in the right spot. These guys know how to do what they're doing. If we see something up here and we want to click it, we want it to go to the right page, not some spun page. We want it to be the right page, right? The one right page, okay? If we fill out the form and send it, we want it to go where it needs to go. If we want to read more about this or about that, we want it to go to that one page on the website, whatever it is, okay? Like right now, I don't know if I have it connected to much, but we just want it to go to, yeah, like this one does, to that page and continue reading just normally, right? And close with call us today. It's got the phone number, you know, whatever we smartly put into the page would be the idea. Okay, now, so what we want to MOWG is just this. That's it, this part, okay? And what else do we want to MOWG? Well, just the page title, right? So we have different page titles and meta description tag that goes with this, right? All of you guys know what that is, I'm guessing. And let me just show you what I mean. If I'm going to edit this, or if this doesn't work, if this opens in Word, don't work with it in Word, okay? Because Word can change tokens, it can change the coding. Open it with Notepad, okay? In my case, it opens with Notepad. Here's the last part I'm going to change. See up here where it starts with the meta keyword tag, okay? I'm going to break it off from the rest. I'm just going to put some white space in there because I might change the keywords. And actually, you don't really care about the keywords. What you care about is the description, okay, meta description tag, and the fact that the robots tag is no index. We definitely want to get rid of it, and the title, okay. So let me just go through that one at a time. First of all, I broke off the keywords. I didn't need to. Maybe some of you want to do it so you can see more easily where one of these tags ends and the next begins, like that. Maybe it's harder for you to read that, okay. I know some guys are like that, right? All right, but where you really need to break it off is going to be here, okay? Meta name is the description. This is the part you care about, because if that's the meta tag is description, the content is whatever goes between the double quotes. See, there's the beginning of the double quotes. No more double quotes in here until the end of the double quotes. Never let any double quotes be in here. You don't want to say something like, is your full service station? And Frank, because then it's going to think that this is your meta description tag, right? Okay. Same thing with single quotes, because single quotes do the same job in a lot of cases for HTML. So it just depends on the type of HTML document. But the fact of the matter is, since we're not teaching that here, do not use single or double quotes inside of these tags. Just don't let it happen. Okay. Keep it on. Okay. And there you go. There's that. Now that is your meta description. And here is your title. This is the other part that we want to bother doing something with. We want to MOWG that. And I think all you guys know that, right? I keep having a back step to make points, but if you know what this is, you know this shows up on Google results right away. It's the blueprint. It's what you click on when you're looking at something to click to read a page. So if you do a search for landscaping South Bend, or best landscaper in South Bend, or anything, then Google shows you links, and the blueprint is what you click to get to the page. That is this title tag. That is what Google is showing, whatever gets put here. Okay. Now the meta description shows up on Google right below it in black. It's not the green URL. It's the actual physical print that you read below the blue print. Okay. It's the black print. It's the description. It continues with the theme. This says a little bit, and see how it ends with a pipe and the name of the company. Usually you want to leave that in there, but you don't have to. Some of you guys care. Some of you want to take it out. That's okay either way. All right. But that's just there to name the company, help create a little bit of uniqueness anyway, because even if you happen to say the same thing as 20 other competitors, at least this part is different. This is you, not them. Okay. All right. And then, like I said, the meta description says a little more about the same thing. Okay. Well, where can you get those things without having to invent? The answer is you can get them from the content itself on the page. Okay. So that's the other thing we're going to MOWG, but we can do it from right down here. We can take something like this or whatever we want. And we can take something like this and we can copy these things in and make them the page title and the meta description tags. The description describes the title. It needs to be longer than the title. Titles should be short. Descriptions describe things and should be longer. Okay. Now the thing that's not a mistake, but here's a setting. Okay, let me break the tag so you can see it better. Every tag opens and closes the same. I'm not going to go that far back in the training. All you guys should know that this is an opening tag and that's a closing tag, a self-closing tag in this case. Okay. And then this is just a regular opening tag followed by a regular closing tag, right? A self-closing tag just means that there's no other tag. I mean, it closes itself because there's nothing left to put in between, okay? For a title, you have to have it start, you have to have it end. In the case of this is just a command to the robots not to index this page. So that's a self-closing tag because there's nothing else to go with it, okay? Now, you can't have that, or Google will not index your page. MSN, Bing will not index your page. Yahoo will not index your page. Alta Vista will not index your page. Your page will never be shown in Google results. So if you see that, kill it. Get rid of it. right? Yuck. So there you go. So if it's on, just kill it. Get rid of that tag. Okay. Other than that, this is the description and this is the title. And we can choose whether to keep this part in or not, you know, this whole pipe slash company name. Okay. Domain name. All right. That's the only other thing then that we're going to want to mess with. Okay. So I'll save it. To get the spacing in, most of you guys probably already know that the spacing doesn't matter in the coding, right? Regular spacing like that, edit. Spacing in between tags, like here's where a tag ends, here's where another tag begins. There's space in here, and that doesn't matter, okay? And for a lot of things, it doesn't matter. Regular print on the page. If you have print on the page, and down, you don't need to know how to read this. But if I have this, and I put a lot of spaces in there, that's okay. Because Google's only going to see, or I'm sorry, the page is only going to show one space anyway, no matter how many spaces are in there. So spacing allows us to see our coding better. Okay. All right. That's too much to talk about all at once. Okay, here we go. Meta description and title, right? That because we need uniqueness on Google results. Not all our pages can look the same. And we're going to emoji the content. So how do we do it? What's the part we need? Let me point out again. What do we want to do? We want to first set this up for emoji right down to here. Okay. And that's just to give us the excuse to create tons of pages that show up for lots of keywords. That means that we have to also emoji the page title and description so they can read differently for all those pages. Okay. Everything else on this page, we want to stay the same. Because we really want people responding to everything else on the page. We want them noticing this and reacting to it. Noticing these and reacting to it. Noticing this and these and reacting to it. Getting into these and reacting to them. Getting into anything here and reacting to it. Right? Seeing this stuff and reacting to it. Just noticing this stuff and then noticing this stuff. And that's it. That's all we want. Okay. So we just want to emoji this part and then use a little bit of it for the page title and the meta description. All right, now you guys notice how I keep repeating the same stuff to the point where it gets to be boring? That's just to make sure it's cakewalk, believe it or not, because this process is not that hard. So when we go to edit it, we got the title, the description, and the content on the page. We already found the title and the description. How do we find the content? I'll show you how we find the content. Edit. Okay, starting at the top, do a search, Control F for find, or just edit find. And what are we going to find? Find this magic word, content bar, all one word, content bar, all one word. Click it. Guess what that does? It takes you to a divider tag, a division tag, divider tag. It opens it and it gives it a name. So this is really a div tag, and that's just an attribute to describe it, but that's all you need to know is that there it is. Now, everything inside that divider tag is the content. Look, I'm putting spacing after it on purpose, right? So you can see it better. So here is where it opens in a header 1 line and says that and then closes. See how much white space is in there, by the way? That's why I say don't worry about white space. I can start to delete some of the spacing to make it read better. And then I can delete this to make it read better. You don't have to, but if it just helps you think about it for a while. See, there was only this, and then nothing at all until here, okay? All right, so as soon as you find that content bar, right after the content bar closes, just put in some white space, okay? That's the top of the stuff that we're going to deal with. Where does it end? Well, watch this. Now go to content space bar. Oops, get it right. Content space bar, and keep on searching down. Find next. There it is. There's the end of the content bar, and right before it, the end of that divider tag, right? The ending of the divider tag, right? So just create a bunch of spacing there. See how it jumps out? Boom, 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 boom. Notice the divider tag is not in here. I don't want this tag, okay? I found the end of the content bar, but I do not want this either. That's the end of the divider. The part I want is inside that divider. That's kind of what that means. The divider started this whole section here, and the divider ends right there. Okay? The divider tag itself is basically on the outside, and the top divider tag is basically outside. It's like right before this begins. Okay? That's the way to think about it. Okay. Having said that, there it is. This is from one end to the other what I need to MOWG. Just come back up to where I had the white space up here. That's it. This is the part I need to MOWG. Okay. So what am I going to do? I'm going to paste it into, I'm done with that. I found what I need to MOWG. It's from there down to there. Get it? I got all highlighted. It's all ready for me to copy and paste somewhere else. So I'm going to put in a Microsoft Excel document, open it. I don't even have to care what the name is. I'm going to copy this. Just right click or anywhere in the blue area, anywhere in the highlighted area. If you right click outside of that, you're going to lose what you highlighted and you have to find it again. Right click anywhere inside of it and hit copy. Okay. Come over here and just paste. Right click, paste. That's it. I just did. Oh, my mistake. What is the other thing I want to point out? This shouldn't look right for one reason. Everything is lined up into all these cells. Let me show you. Don't just right click and paste like I just did. I pointed out so I could say it's wrong. The final thing to know. Double click so you see the cursor blinking inside of there. Right click and paste. And then accept it with the green arrow. That. Okay. There. Now it looks right. It's all inside that one cell. Okay. That's what I wanted you to see. That it's in here. Okay. That looks right. Okay. All right. We just did that. What I'm going to do is review that section, then we'll go on to the next section, because believe it or not, this stuff is so easy. You're going to actually be able to just dream about it. As a matter of fact, here we go. Say, oh, I can't believe we're starting over. I dare you to say it. Say it. Okay. I'm starting over. I'm starting over. Just to remind you how easy this is. Close other tabs. Scoot out of the way. Save as. Stick it right in that Edge folder, which is on my desktop. Edge. Call it base HTML. Webs HTML only. Okay. Open that. There it is. Edit. My case, edit. In your case, open with Notepad, maybe. Come down to one of these things. Yeah, just anything like that. Should look just like that. Equal, double quote, slash, control C, control. Put it here. Kill that slash. Come over here. Copy. I mean, you guys can time me if you want. It's pretty quick. Okay. Really. How hard is this? This is why I repeat it, because this is not hard. Now, edit. First, find where my meta tag description begins. Then find where the title ends. Okay. Get rid of the no index meta tag. Goes all the way up to here. Whoops. If you have trouble, separate the tags so you can see them better. That way you don't accidentally delete something you shouldn't delete. Okay. All right. I can keep those together. You can put space in there if you want. Now, starting up here somewhere. Control F. Content bar. There's the beginning. Right after that tag. Okay. Put some more. Doesn't matter. Healthy amount. Now, content dash bar. Whoops. Okay. Content dash bar. There it is. Looks right. So this is what I'm going to pull down. Okay. Therefore, this is what I'm going to MOWG. Okay. Right there. Control C. You don't need to grab white space that comes before that or white space that comes after that. It's not going to hurt, but you obviously don't need any of the white space, right? Copy. Just make sure I got it. New. Cell sheet. Double click. Cursor blinking. Paste. Check mark. There. Now, we can continue with this stuff. What are we going to do? Code to vars. Boom. When we do code to vars, we're going to immediately follow it with universal concatenator and hit concatenate. Okay. Now that you're done with that, so first step was code to vars. Next step was universal concatenator. Next step, we could go through and just kind of look at it, make sure it's clean, but we don't need to. Let's just highlight the whole thing and hit the source. Okay. I'm going to explain what just happened. If you click on here anywhere, there's a blinking done pop-up that's just showing up behind. So I'm hitting OK. All right, so I clicked to force it to come up so I could hit OK. Now you could just save your work at this point, hit the blue floppy icon. Now, why did I stop? I want to show you what happened. First of all, notice we're not even on sheet 1 anymore. Something else happened here. So I'm going to point out. Sheet 1, this is where we started. Destination sheet 4. This is where it created all of the thesaurus combinations for each word, dealing with the Microsoft Office dictionary, right? The thesaurus section. Everything that could be a synonym to the word welcome, it put down here. Everything that could be a synonym to the word to, it put here. South Bend is South Bend. You're not going to get anything else for that. Okay, I could put a space in there. If there was, for some reason, South Bend is one word, Control H. And some people use that to trick a thesaurus to not use words for South and Bend separately, right? It's like protecting the terms. Okay, we made 11 placements. Yeah, there you go. All right, I'm going to save it. Okay, so anyway, many of these are the right words and many of these are the wrong words. In other words, it's a mix, right? We didn't really do this for that reason. We did it to look up things that would probably have synonyms or at least variables. And we used a trick. We created a code to spin rewriter tab that happened at the same time. What that does is this. Okay, if you try to paste all this with the coding into spin rewriter, it will not work right because it does not understand the tags properly. It screws up the tags. It messes things up and it puts words in here that shouldn't be in here because it's looking for synonyms for some of the wording that's inside the tags. It's all wrong. So what we have to do is separate the tags from the words. This is why we did code to vars in the first place, to separate everything from everything else. And then when we highlighted and did thesaurus, well, that's just sensible. It's not giving us synonyms for the coding because there shouldn't be synonyms for coding, right? There should only be synonyms for actual words on the page, okay? That's the point, right? Okay, now it left all the coding alone, found synonyms for words on the page. Everything that has a variable, it said, okay, we want to give that word to spin rewriter and let spin rewriter make a more sensible call on what this wording should be. Everything that's coding, we can't give it to spin rewriter that way because it screws it up. But what we can do is convert it to some gibberish for a minute. So guess what SRW1 is? The code converted to an alphanumeric, something that will not screw up spin rewriter. It's not a tag, it's an alphanumeric. So spin rewriter just thinks of that as a word that it cannot find a synonym for. Then sure enough, we got word, word, and then spin rewriter again because it shouldn't be trying to change that thing. And then again a word, then more spin rewriter, for more coding, and it continues the whole way. Now you can't just paste this into spin rewriter because it's going to act like a bunch of tabs, okay? But what you can paste in is the whole thing concatenated into one simple article as long as it's not more than 500 words, okay? If there's more than 500 words, we want to continue down here. So guess what that is? Spin rewriter 501, spin rewriter 502, 503, word, word 506, 507, word, that's like your 508, then 509, right? So this is our second article. So now we have our two articles, and we're going to paste these in the spin rewriter. Get it? So we actually used the thesaurus in order to not use the thesaurus, but make the page ready for spin rewriter. We're going to make that one article and that another article. Isn't that wild? I'm going to do it. And then we'll start the next topic on the other page because this much you can at least see right now because it's this easy. It's really not hard. Yeah. Here we go. Boom. I go. I log in. Boom. When I log in, I'm going to rewrite. And whether I have one article or many articles, I'm going to hit this because it's faster than rewriting a single article. I'm going to hit this no matter what. Don't spin within spins. Don't do anything. Don't do anything. Just do this. Okay, that should be the first choice. It is by default. Here's where we enter the first article and then add another one. Ready? First article, just copy. That was the whole thing. Everything is in that one cell for that article. Paste. See? And then just add another article. Ready? Whole thing, copy, come back, paste. If I had a third article, if there was like a third article down here because it was really such a long page, then I would add another article. But I don't need to. I'm done. Hit this. If you want to hit settings, you can. Say you're doing real estate. This is set the right way. Use suggestions that you believe are correct. That's the best idea. Okay? Don't do multi-level spinning. do not do multi-level nested spinning, okay? Because MOWG Toolbar is not meant for it. Besides, it's overkill. We don't need that. Protected keywords. This is stuff like if you were going for real estate, okay? And you can automatically protect all capitalized words except in the title of an article. That's smart, right? And if you were doing South Bend, see that? Anything that makes sense, you can do that, okay? And then that way it's safe, right? And whatever, I can start the bulk rewriting process, okay? This will just take some seconds, so let me pause and let it finish. Actually, this is a perfect place to end this video, and then I'll start the next one. All right, I think so far so good. You guys are getting it. We're actually most of the way through the process of building our awesome website. All right, I'm gonna bust this off, and we'll do the next video next.